Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chef Jay in the Kitchen. Today I have something really special for you guys just in time for the Super Bowl. We're gonna do some wings, but I know we're all still on diets for the new year and trying to make those resolutions, so we're going to bake them today. This is a super easy recipe. If you're not into cooking, if you're trying to avoid fried foods, or you're just a little bit of a novice, this is kind of a foolproof recipe. We'll marinate our chicken in some spices overnight, pop them in the oven, get them nice and crispy. It's a perfect recipe. All you're gonna need is to get yourself some chicken wings. We're going to wash them off. I know the CDC says don't do that, but I beg to differ. Wash your meat off, and then you wanna get a nice spice blend. You want to get a nice spice blend. In this spice blend, I've got garlic powder, I've got onion powder, I have some paprika, I have chili powder, cumin, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. We're gonna throw that onto our chicken, get it all coated all over. For those of you that are trying to be a little bit more diet conscious like I am, I'm going to put just a hair of water to help the marinade not feel gritty and that type of thing. If you're not on a diet, you can do your marinade in oil. I would suggest, I'd say maybe about 3 hours for the marinade, but if you can do overnight, that's of course going to be better. So we're gonna get started. This is my spice blend here. For those of you that are new here, I have a recipe blog, I have an Instagram, TikTok, all that jazz for all of the actual ingredients. If you need the step-by-step, that's gonna be listed on the blog there. But for those of you that just wanna follow along, this is what we're doing here. So you just need all of your spices onto your washed chicken. Throw it in a bowl. If you don't want to put it in a bowl, Ziploc bag works as well. And we're just gonna get that nice and coated up. I got into cooking because I kind of like getting my hands dirty. If you're not one of those people, feel free to put some gloves on or use a spoon. But there's just something about touching my food and kind of playing in it that I just love. So that's what I'm gonna do, but feel free to do whatever you like. And then, like I said, it will feel a little bit of granulated. There's a lot of seasonings on here, and trust me, it's worth it. But you're going to want to put a little bit of oil or some water just to help break up some of the spices. All right, so for those of you that are following along just like I am, I'd say start with maybe about a half a cup of water. That should be enough to get your chicken nice and coated. But if it still feels kind of gritty and that type of thing, then just add a little bit more water at a time, but don't feel like it needs to be dripping. It doesn't need to be wet. We don't want it to feel granulated and taste kind of sandy when we're done cooking it. Once you have it all completely coated, you want your chicken to look like this. It'll be a nice coating of all these seasonings. It smells good even though the chicken is raw. This is going to be the makings for some delicious chicken wings. One note I would say, when you preheat your oven, we're gonna want to cook these in a cast iron, and I always start my cast iron in the oven and put my chicken into a hot pan. Something about it going into a hot pan just really crisps up the chicken and gives it a really nice texture on the skins. It is not mandatory that you do that step, and you could do this in a baking dish or a cookie sheet if you want to, but I have found I've gotten better results with a nice hot cast iron, so that is my suggestion for that. Oven's going on 400, and we're just gonna cook these bad boys for about 30 to 40 minutes. We want them to get roasted. We want all of these flavors to really incorporate into the chicken, and a nice crispy skin as well. Obviously, we're not frying them, so we are cutting the calories and the fat, but we don't want to cut out any of the flavor or the texture that we love from our wings. So we're gonna pop these into a hot pan and get going. All right, so I've got my hot pan. My cast iron has been into my oven, I would say about 20 minutes. You don't have to go that long, but you want it hot to the touch. If you are following along with me, I'm just going to spray my pan with a little bit of Pam or some type of non-stick cooking spray. You don't have to use that. If you want to use olive oil or any type of high heat allowing oil, you can do that, but just something to help your chicken not stick. And then I like to start mine skin side down. Really, I wish they would have sold a pack of all flats because the drums can go for me, but here we are. So I like to do skin side down just so we can start the cooking process of really crisping up that skin and really just getting those flavors developed in the pan. You hear it sizzling already. It's already beginning to get all of the pieces that we love so much, and just align them. Don't crowd the pan too much, but if you've got space, I believe this was a 2-pound bag of chicken wings. This is sufficient. If you've got a big party, just do it on sheet trays. If you're cooking for a lot of people or doing a big kind of football party, I would do it on large sheet trays will work, but make sure you heat them up first. Get everybody into the pan and a nice single layer. You don't need to cover it. It's going into the oven on 400. We'll leave it in for about 20 minutes, then take it out, flip everybody over, go back in for another 20 minutes, and then we might broil it at the end just to see what the skin is like. All right, so I have a nice single layer of my wings in my cast iron pan. They're seasoned. Because the pan was hot, as soon as the wings went in there, you can already smell them. And I'm going to get this into the oven uncovered and just let it do its thing. Okay, you guys, so these delicious chicken wings are out of the oven. The house smells so good. We're just gonna plate these up. While I'm doing that, I just want to talk about the pairing that we did today. I have a beautiful glass of Israeli wine. This is from Vitkin Winery in the Judean Hills in Israel. Beautiful blend of Carignan, Cab Franc, Syrah, and a couple other little guys in there. I call it my Jesus juice because, you know, it's wine from the Holy Land and Jesus turned water into wine. So I feel like that gives me leeway to drink in abundance because I'm drinking. No, I'm just kidding. But no, this is a beautiful wine. Lovely tannins, nice bright acidity, but it's got these amazing notes of baking spices and Mediterranean herbs without too much tannin, but enough acidity to really blend nicely with these chicken wings. So with all the paprika and all that savory spices we put on these chickens. Is that the plural for chickens? I don't know. I call them chickens. So for all of the savory spices we put on our cute little chickens, to have this lovely, just complex but light-bodied red wine is just the perfect pairing. If you're preparing this for your game day and you're not a beer drinker or you don't want a heavy cocktail, highly suggest a nice light to medium red bodied. Look for something with some interesting things going on like this one. It saw a little bit of oak, so you're picking up all of those baking spices from the presence of the oak as well. Perfect pairing for a really flavorful, umami, kind of savory filled spice blend that we have on this chicken. It's just the perfect pairing. So thank you to Vitkin Winery for this beautiful bottle of Israeli Journey. And I hope that you guys enjoy your chicken and today's pairing. I'll see y'all next time.